This is my attempt at showing different perspectives of Frankenstein and the creature. On the left is Frankenstein's perspective, and the right is the creature's perspective of himself. For both of these, I based appearance off of the fact that the author said that he has yellow skin, black hair, and white teeth, and also that we know he's made of flesh, so I tried to make parts of it look rotten or torn. Starting with Frankenstein's perspective, my main quote is, "Devil," I exclaimed, "do you dare approach me, and do not fear the fierce vengeance of my arm rigged on your miserable head. Be gone, vile insect, or rather stay, that I may trample you to dust, and oh, that I could, with the extinction of your miserable existence, restore those victims whom you have so diabolically murdered." It's pretty clear from this quote that he considers him a monster and a murderer, as well as a devil, which is why I gave him devil horns and also blood splatters. My next quote, "Relieve me from the sight of your detested form," shows how he considers him vile and disgusting and does not want to be looking at him. I actually decided to give him clothes because I felt like it made him look more powerful and threatening, but it did make it harder to show the disgustingness of his body, but I tried to give him stitches and make him look as wicked as possible. Speaking of wickedness, my next quote, "Shall I create another like yourself, whose joint wickedness might desolate the world," reflects on how he thinks he's wicked, hence the red eyes, the evil grin, and the bloody baseball bat. My last quote for this side is, "The beauty of the dream vanished, and breathless horror and disgust filled my heart. So as soon as he was done with his creation, he was disgusted by it, and he continued to run away from it in fear as if he was a violent beast." Additionally, I made the background for this dark and closing in so it appears more threatening. I tried to make the side as threatening and bloody as possible. Moving on to the other side, the creature's perspective. My main quote is, "Hateful day when I received life," I exclaimed in agony. "Accursed creator, why did you form a monster so hideous that even you turned from me in disgust? God in pity made man beautiful and alluring after his own image, but my form is a filthy type of yours, more horrid even from the very resemblance. Satan had his companions, fellow devils to admire and encourage him, but I am solitary and abhorred." So he sees himself as lonely and rejected by everybody. And he also sees himself, physically anyways, as a monster that everybody turns away from. So in my drawing, I included him in a defensive position as rocks are being thrown at him. My next quote, "I shall feel the affections of a sensitive being and become linked to the chain of existence and events from which I am now excluded." This adds on to him feeling alone and excluded from all of humanity for no reason that he can see. "Felix darted forward and with supernatural force tore me from his father, to whose knees I clung. In a transport of fury, he dashed me to the ground and struck me violently with a stick." This again shows how humanity instantly turns him away and claims him evil for pretty much just existing, and that's why I've got someone waving a sword on the right side as he covers for defense, instead of fighting back. So 2 more quotes. "I tenderly love these friends. I have, unknown to them, been for many months in the habits of daily kindness towards them, but they believe that I wish to injure them, and it is that prejudice I wish to overcome." So he is committing acts of kindness and doesn't see himself as a threat. He even considers himself to love the people around him, which is why I gave him a heart in the side of the drawing. The reason that I gave him a diaper is pretty much partly because of the play version, and also the idea that he was basically born and turned away immediately without any direction or knowledge, which ties into my final quote. "Besides, I found that understanding improved so much with every day's experience that I was unwilling to commence this undertaking until a few more months should have added to my sagacity." This to me is saying he lacked any kind of understanding to even know what is going on, and it took months for him to get to a place where he understood his life pretty much because of the fact that he was created and brought out into the world with no direction. And those are all of my quotes. Overall, the creature sees himself as a solitary creature that humanity despises and is scared of, when all he wants is to be accepted and for them to understand that he cares about them. Meanwhile, Frankenstein sees his creation as a disgusting, violent monster that deserves death. And that's it.